Hello, my name is Crystal and I'm your Hope Catalyst. Today I'm going to be going to the second kind of stress that I told you I learned about. For those of you that are just listening for the first time, I was sharing sometimes last week that I attended an event and it was talking about our mental health space, and I learned about four types of stress that we normally do go through. Last week I talked about the time stress. If you're yet to see that video, please go back and look at it because extensively I talked about how to deal with time stress. And today I am going to be talking about anticipatory stress. Yet to subscribe to this channel, make sure that you click on the subscribe button and of course turn on your notification button so you don't miss anything at all. We are in that age when we get really stressed by almost everything. The fact that you want to do something puts a lot of pressure on you, and that makes you get to the point where you get really stressed. So the second thing is anticipatory stress. Have you ever wanted to probably hold an event, or if you're somebody like me, you need to have a talk, and just before that talking event, you just really find out that you become jittery, you become kind of scared, and all your hormones are everywhere and you just get really pressured. Exactly, that's what anticipatory stress is all about. You want to host an event, you want to have something in place, and then before you know it, you just get really stressed, and you find out that you can't get to do what you need to do. And sometimes for some people it really gets really bad because they become really jittery, and then their production at the end of the day becomes a flop. So you don't want to get in that space. So knowing that when you have an event or something that you're looking forward to, and just like the word really says, you're anticipating, and because of the anticipation of what you have, there's a lot of anxiety that sets up or becomes something that sets in place, and then you just really find out that achieving that thing becomes a burden versus something that should be something of joy. So the first thing that is very unconventional that I'm going to say when you think of anticipatory stress is pray. Yeah, pray about it. And for those of you that do not know, I'm a person of faith, and very easily, when you have things that you don't know how it's going to pan out, and really because you don't know how that event is going to turn out, what happens really is just pray about it. But after you've prayed about that thing, what I need you to do is to put in place the things that need to be ready. So for instance, if you have a presentation and you're going to be presenting to a large audience, you might want to do rehearsals. You might want to just ensure that you get yourself in the mood for that situation, and just imagine that you're speaking to that crowd. And when you actually imagine that you're talking to that crowd, what happens is preparing ahead of time just helps get you ready. And once you're ready, it's easier for you to manage, and it reduces your stress level. Secondly, for events, you also want to make sure that you prepare, because the truth is, if you're prepared for something, if there's little or nothing that should put you under pressure, because that I know the subject matter. So even when you start off anxious, you get to settle in when you know that you understand exactly what you want to talk about. So that helps you to just get into a very comfortable state and reduces your stress level. The third thing that you might want to do is role play, rehearse that event in your mind, in your head, and actually really do rehearse it. Sometimes when I have to go and make a presentation to a large audience, or even to anyone at all, I go before my mirror and I try to do the presentation, and literally I practice. I prepare, I get myself ready for it, and then I imagine that you, as you're watching me today, you are in that mirror, and literally I look at myself and I remind myself of the fact that I can get it done, and I just practice. So practicing does really help when you have anticipatory stress, because you know what your event is going to be about, and so you can anticipate just the same way it puts you under pressure is the same way that it actually you can anticipate that it's going to go well, and definitely it will definitely go well. I started last week by talking about time stress, where I talked about, the fact that you're pressured for time. It really does put you under a lot of pressure, and then it puts you under stress. And today I am talking about anticipatory stress, the fact that you have an event that is coming up. Usually it's linked to events, and you have this event that is going to come up, and because this event is going to come up, it makes you jittery, either because of the people that are going to attend the event or because you've never done this before, and it can be anything at all. And I said, what's there to lose? Just pray about it. And when you pray about it, you have an assurance and you can deal with it. The second thing that I said is you should practice, practice, practice. Like I do, I go in front of a mirror and I practice. And then thirdly, that you just also want to think about it in your mind and, just get yourself to that point of being prepared for it. And part of being prepared actually is practicing. I hope that this has helped you and gotten you into that place where you really do believe that you can make it happen and you can do it, and you can reduce your stress level even as you imagine what that event is going to be about, and then that helps you to get into that state where you really get ready. If this has really helped you, definitely don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone. Make sure that you have a friend of yours that listens to this so that they can know how to cope and deal with their anticipatory stress.